Jackie Barnes from Morpeth School, but my role is an assistant head at the school, but I'm seconded full-time to run Globetown Learning Community, which is a charity based in the school. And my fear is that on October the 21st, there'll be many small charities like mine which are going to find it very difficult to exist over the next few months, never mind the next few years. Money is going to be key, because in the most disadvantaged communities, for instance in ours, getting our Somali families to engage, it isn't just about offering them, asking them to come and join something. It's actually about spending the time to get to know them. And if we're really going to make this work, not just for our middle classes who will join things, if we're really going to make it work for the, the ones who are probably most disengaged from society, then smaller charities need to be guaranteed a big say in it. Because my experience is all the funding out there goes to large charities with expert fundraisers, and I think we'll lose an awful lot very soon.
I mean, you're speaking to one of my most passionate causes. I mean, we set up Pilot Light, which was set up by the founder of Comic Relief, in order to incubate small charities and help them. And, it's the Pilot Light survey shows that 5 to 10% of small charities get the professional help they need. So one of the things is, yes, it is of course grants, but Your Square Mile as a mechanism means that the local business, a local solicitor, a local accountant, local volunteers in terms of time can step forward and help. I know that doesn't substitute for the money, but I know the facts, and I've been preaching the cause of small charities because they are the ones who are tackling the biggest problems on our doorstep. I don't have any easy answers on the funding. I mean, what would be criminal is for so many small charities or any charities to go to the wall because of what's happening, because no amount of citizen effort can substitute for that and that kind of potentially lost expertise. But I just hope that we can provide a mechanism and a platform for saying, look, these, it is money, it is volunteering time, but it's also other forms of expertise that exist within a community, but there isn't a mechanism for harnessing it that can help in these tough times. But I agree, you're ignored in relative terms by foundations, by statutory bodies, etc. And it's very, very hard. Yeah.
And do you think that those messages are getting through to the people that need to know?
I don't know. I mean, I hope that, renaming the Office of the Third Sector, as they've done Office of Civic Society, isn't just a sort of cosmetic brand name change. And I hope that people like Nick Hurd, I do believe Nat Way does, I think Nick Hurd probably does, will act on the knowledge that actually the key to this, I mean, I think the public need to know as well, is that, a lot of the social problems are invisible. What is often invisible as well is the amount of small social enterprises or charities that are solving the problems. I mean, the toughest problems in the country are actually solved by one-to-one relationships by and large, and those are delivered by very small, often 1 to 5 person charities with very little resource, living out of a sort of, back bedroom or whatever it may happen to be. And I think people don't realise that. They have no idea.
Brian Cullen from the Plume School. I just wanted to ask, is part of the work that you will champion, will it be making the general public aware of the work that schools do in trying to promote the big society, in particular the teaching of citizenship within schools? Because what I really don't want to read is headlines in the Daily Mail that says schools are not doing anything about this whatsoever, or they should be doing this, or they should be doing that. I just want to make you aware that there's an awful lot of work. Typically, this type of thing today, which is going on and has been going on, but secondary in schools up and down the country, the teaching of citizenship is an integral part of the curriculum, and an integral part of that is encouraging young people that they can and should actually get involved and make a difference.
Yes. Yes, we will. I mean, I'm here to provide what I hope will be an attractive platform, if you like, in various ways, through Your Square Mile principally, of making people aware of what's going on and the amount of energy that's happening, but doing it in a way that they can navigate, because there's so much, it's just there is no such thing as a kind of Google, if you like, for everything that's going on already that supports big society, and in many ways that's what we're trying to provide. So yes is the answer. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we're running over, so only time for one quick question. Last question, the lady here.
Thank you. I'm Chris Matthews and I'm Cardinal Newman in Brighton and Hove area. Last year, a fund was set up which was to recruit community volunteer organisers to the schools. These people were recruited. They weren't paid a lot. It was an equivalent of a TA's job. We recruited to the school. We got this person set up in post. She literally had done 3 weeks' work with me. And literally on the first day back, the government withdrew the money, which meant that she had no post. Now, we're very lucky because we're an extremely big school, and the school decided to absorb the cost. Any other smaller school would not have been able to do it. Her job was to try and set up volunteer opportunities for students at Key Stage 4. Now, what we wanted to do was to join a scheme called the V50 scheme. I don't know if anybody knows about it, but the V50 scheme principally was working for 16 to 25-year-olds. But this fund enabled the V50 scheme to open up an opportunity to go on it for younger students. And we engaged our Key Stage 4 students, which we've got 343 in every year group. We had at least 400 students from the 2 year groups wanting to engage straight on it. We've got at least 200 sixth formers already engaged on it. When they took the funding away, they took that away as well. We have no way now of recognising their work. That system was set up so that we could get students onto the system. They would find volunteer opportunities. It would actually tell them about their local neighbourhood and what they could do. And it has completely gone. And I just think it's a shame because it must have cost them a lot of money to set up, to take it away like that, and to take someone's job away from them. This girl who's still with us, I can't tell you the most fantastic work she's done in the last 5 weeks. I could never do it on my own. It would be impossible. We've got students engaged with projects all over the place, and they really enjoy it and they want to do it. But I just wanted to sort of raise it with you because there was a scheme, we were doing it, and it got taken away. Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, interestingly, in my work on the Big Lunch, which is about bringing communities together, that has shown, the biggest support comes from school-age children of all kinds. The biggest support, previously people thought teenagers and street parties didn't mix, but they do, they love it. The strongest support, actually, for big society, if you look at the demographics, is people under the age of 25. They're the most values-driven. I think I'm a huge supporter of intergenerational work as well, using schools. I started the first school plan based on the Change the World for a Fibre book on simple volunteering actions or actions that people could take. And it's now, that book sold 1 million copies. There are loads of schools taking up the schools programme. I see it in my own children and friends' children. So, I see it's incredibly important. I also, when I was sitting on Gordon Brown's Council on Social Action for 2 years, worked with some brilliant social entrepreneurs, and one of the things we wanted to introduce was a universal mentoring scheme in schools. When you think about what does the big society mean, what it means to me is we have to recognise we're all simultaneously capable and we're all vulnerable. And the recognition of that needs to start in schools as well as homes. And, I personally think things like a universal mentoring scheme whereby you are mentored by somebody of the same gender, a year or 2 years older than you, and that's universal and it follows all the way through to sixth form and etc. beyond, sets the foundation for the kind of society that we need. So I'm a passionate believer, in what you're saying, and I will make that point, to the ministers.
Okay, well, Paul, thank you ever so much for that.